What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again for a Micro Mini Lightning Newscast Comeback Edition. As we are going to talk about some things that are coming back, Eric. And I am joined by my friend and co-host that I've already said the name of. So come on back, Eric.
This is Eric. Hey,
Eric. Today we're gonna talk about some things that may be coming back to this world, and we're gonna do it. We're going to do it in 10 minutes.
Okay, I'll let you get started.
We're going to do it in 10 minutes. So 3, 2, 1, here we go. Eric, I'm very excited to announce the return of the captain to his chair. Mr. Jean-Luc Picard is coming back to Star Trek.
I am excited. I am. You just told me about this tonight. I did not know about this, which is weird. I enjoy Next Generation. I would say I'm a fan. I am not as hardcore as others.
Right.
But I enjoyed it. In fact, I'm rewatching the complete...
Oh, it was a great series.
I'm rewatching it right now from season 1 on, I think, Netflix. And I'm enjoying it. It holds up. I like it a lot. I forget how much Tasha Yar was featured in the early episodes.
Yes.
She's very prominent.
She died early on.
And she dies early on.
And then our good friend Worf becomes the security officer.
Now, I'm curious, is Jean-Luc, if he's coming back as an admiral? Because I think at the end of one of the movies, wasn't he an admiral?
I don't remember.
Recall.
I think they tried to make him one, and he didn't want to.
He stepped back down. I think he went.
I think he wanted to stay as a captain, but apparently this is going to be set 20 years after the original ended.
The original, is it going to have the movie? Do you know if the movies are canon?
Well, the movies are canon, yes.
So, all right. So, I'm interested in this a little bit to see, because we know so little about it. You said that there's really no details really around what.
Yeah, they haven't really said anything yet about what the plot's going to be, what he's going to be doing. If you remember correctly, on the series at least, last time we saw him, he was
fighting the Borg.
No, he had done that whole thing with Q.
The Q Continuum.
Yeah, the Q Continuum. He basically showed Q had him going back to the past, and they actually brought Tasha Yar back for the finale. But going back to the past, to the future, to the present, and he had to get all three of them married up to basically save humanity.
Well, it's interesting. You know, the Q is from the first season. It's from the second episode.
Yes.
The Q shows up, and they do the same thing where he judges humanity.
Right.
I think that's the second episode. So it's pretty... I forget how long... I wish there was something about the Q, a little bit more... I'm sure I could find some sort of documentation on it. But I'm not a...
You want more about the Q, you can watch the Voyager show. There was more stuff about the Q.
I was not a big fan of the Voyagers.
A lot of people weren't. I'm finding out, and there are some people that really were. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, you want more about it. I guess the Q was better explained.
I watched
in that.
I did watch that. I watched Voyager because I love Star Trek so much. I didn't really get into Enterprise. I did not like the first few. I like Scott Bakula, but I couldn't get into it. I've thought about going back and watching it. I heard it's not bad.
Well, we can talk about that later. But you know, this is exciting to me. I mean, you've got 20 years of stuff to play with. I mean, there's a lot of stories you could tell. I kind of feel like, so they've started that new Discovery show, and I don't know how exactly they're going to show this new series, Jean-Luc series, but you have I don't know if they're going to stream it or show it on CBS. But when you have that Star Trek Discovery that's on their streaming service.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any of it.
I'm curious if they're going to do something where it's Jean-Luc reflecting on an earlier story to where they set up a younger Jean-Luc that they can continue this series.
Isn't it like the Die Hard we talked about? The Die Hard?
Yes.
They're doing
It's either that or I'm thinking they're going to do one final mission for Jean-Luc Picard.
Okay. Well, they got to bring back an old enemy then. I can't see him doing a new enemy.
Well, you'd almost have to do a Q type thing.
Yeah, Q. Well, I think the Borg were still around. I mean, did Captain Janeway kill all the Borg in The Last of Hers?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't get it. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see what will happen with the character. Patrick Stewart's a great actor.
I mean, it could just be old man Picard just living his life, retired
on his winery.
On his winery, being called into service by Geordi LaForge one last time, or to go get his good friend Data, who
Data, yeah.
Data is a robot. He doesn't age.
He doesn't age. I mean, that's shown in the one of the endings of a season is where his head is found several hundreds of years later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went back in time in the Old West, and then they just kind of left him there.
Yeah, and then
because he had to fix something.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I hope. What's his name? Oh my goodness! Why can't I think of his name?
Patrick Stewart.
No, Will Wheaton's character.
Oh, you want
Crusher?
You want Crusher to come back?
Yeah, just to see what he. But everyone hated him so much.
Oh, he showed up in Nemesis. He showed up in the final movie.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, just for a brief cameo.
Oh, we have. Go ahead.
I am hoping that we do get a little bit of what John Luke is most famous for, the facepalm meme. I'm hoping we get to see some of that brought back. I mean, there is a lot of him where he puts his heads in his hands. There was a lot of that for old John Luke when he was trying to talk to people.
Well, I forget. As I've watched this, I forgot how much of a stuffy person he was in the early seasons, because he dislikes Little Crusher because he's a kid and he doesn't get along with kids. And
Crusher just melts your heart, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that would. But later on in the series, he becomes very tender-hearted, and I don't know. He feels more human.
Yes.
So, but I think it's a good progression as a character. Whereas on Voyager, Captain Janeway never changed. I think she was the same character from the first to the last. My opinion. I haven't seen Voyager in a long time, so
I don't. It's been a while.
Never liked her character.
That's the thing. Here's the deal. Voyager, when it was on, it wasn't bad to me. It's not one I think I would go back and watch. But this is exciting. He's coming back. It'll be interesting to see what the plot line is. The producer of the Discovery show, which has gotten great ratings from everything I've heard. I haven't seen it yet, but he's the one that's basically helming this.
Okay.
And so everybody is. I mean, I think it'll be good. Plus, I'm guessing John Luc Picard himself, Patrick Stewart, will put some 2 cents in there about.
Oh yeah, he developed a great character. I mean, more than the writing could do it.
If you're listening to this, just bring back Worf. That's one thing I ask.
Well, I'm always mad because Worf gets beat up all the time. He's supposed to be this awesome Klingon. He's a warrior. But because they want to show how strong these opponents are, he has to get beat up a lot. You're always like, well, he's going to lose. So every time he had to fight somebody, because that showed how strong that other race was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But he's Worf. You still like him.
Oh, yeah. You love Worf and his kid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, his kid. Alexander. We don't need to bring out. He was the House of Moog. Buddy, trust me, I know about my Worf. All right. Well, there's also another. Go ahead.
One more thing. Talking about Star Trek, we didn't mention this at any other time, but someone left Star Trek current movies.
Oh. Who were we talking about?
The lead actor for Star Trek. What's his name?
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine left.
Yes, Chris Pine has left. There was Liam Hemsworth was also supposed to be in this, the Thor actor. The guy that played his father in the first one. His father was supposed to come back somehow.
Oh.
And now both of them, they couldn't reach a deal for part 4.
Ah.
So they wanted more money, or I don't know what all it is, but basically both of them have left the movie. So that's up in the air about what the next movie is going to look like.
We'll see what happens.
But, however, there is another thing coming back. It's a show called Adventure Time. It's coming back for just a very few episodes, and then it's done. It's a show that, honestly, I've enjoyed for a number of years. It's been on for 10 seasons now.
Golly. It is such a good cartoon. It's a cartoon. So good. I've enjoyed it. My kids, who have never really gotten into, like, children cartoons, very much. They all enjoy Adventure Time. In fact, it's my youngest's favorite TV show. I have seen seasons 1 through 6, each episode, so many times. Just an insane amount. The newer ones I haven't seen as much. He's diversified a little bit, but it's something that is continually on at my house.
Well, and it's a fun show, but it is coming to an end after. I mean, there's been some fun times with this show. I mean, I don't know. I've watched all the way up to the end of the 9th season. I haven't seen the 10th season yet, but it's ending here on September 3rd, and it's going to be, from what I understand from people, reviewers that have seen it, got an early copy. I guess it feels like a good ending.
Oh, good finale.
Yeah.
Kind of put the show to bed.
Yes, and they just said it just feels right.
Awesome.
Type of deal, which I'm guessing ends in just kind of the same zaniness that the show
I don't know.
was known for.
I've always liked how Finn has grown. He's aged and changed and, his, developed different characteristics as he's grown up and made choices that has impacted him. And that's one of the best things I've liked about Adventure Time is that things just change around. He changes, though most of the environment around him doesn't. I mean, Jake's magical. He doesn't change. Bubblegum. Ice King doesn't change that much. New characters get added, but generally he doesn't change.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he gets... he changes. The environment doesn't. Right. The environment doesn't really change, but he gets to grow up a little bit, which,
more than a little bit.
I like that aspect of it, that it actually had a character that, he ages and...
Yep. Every season he's a year older.
He is. So let me ask you this, so we don't dwell on it too much. What is your favorite episode?
My favorite episode... I'm trying to think of one... Let me think. It'd probably be from the prior on season 3 or 4. I got to think. That's a tough one. I wish you would ask me that off mic, and I would have been able to look up what episode that was. There's a lot of really good episodes. I try. Say yours while I'm thinking, if you have one.
I'm a fan of I thought the James Baxter episode was hilarious. The horse. James Baxter. That he just randomly shows up into the Nightosphere, or it came from the Nightosphere, or whatever. Where kind of Marceline's dad, I thought, was a good series.
I like the arc with BMO, and where you find out a lot more about him. That's more about him. Yeah. And I really enjoyed that. I also liked when he was dating the Fire Princess, when they were in that like early romance. I like some of those episodes. Just it was cute and fun, and
I did also like. Yeah, those were really good. I did. You got to like the Ice King.
Ice King.
One of my favorites is
the Assassin.
The Assassin episode.
That one is so good.
I will admit I'm cheating a little bit here because I'm looking at the creative team's favorite episodes.
That Assassin one is so funny.
It is.
I want you to hit them.
Yes. It's just well done. It was plus the way it revealed the world and the past and how everything unfolded was very well done. This series was just well done, and it gives you in some of the recent episodes, the ones that you probably haven't gotten to, there are some where they go and explore the rest of the world.
No,
and,
I saw
he
that.
Meets his mom. And,
yep. Like what's left of her.
Yeah.
I saw those.
Spoiler alert.
I've seen a lot of those. I just haven't watched them as much.
Yeah, I mean, they're interesting.
You know, there's a few shows that are like this. The only other show one of the few shows that I think compares to Adventure Time is Gravity Falls.
Yes.
When you're talking about shows that have like really intrigue and character growth, and you're invested in the world, not just the characters.
Right.
So I was trying to think of another show that I just think is that good that's not an anime. But Gravity Falls and Adventure Time are two of my favorite American cartoons.
And honestly, kind of in the same kind of genre.
Yeah, definitely.
In the way way they're animated and the way they're done.
Well, yeah, their execution is similar.
Yeah. So. And so, anyway, I wanted to talk about those two things. Big news with John Luke, and then the ending of, kind of a classic cartoon in Adventure Time.
A modern day classic.
Yes.
Definitely that show's going to live on well past its end date.
It will. So that's September 3rd. All right, my friend. Well, tell them where they can find us.
Well, you can find us all over this big, beautiful internet. First and foremost, we were nominated for a podcast award in the news category. You can go to podcastawards.com, I believe.
Yes.
Is the name of the website. Go there. I think you have to set up an account, but you can vote for us if you feel inclined to. We'd appreciate it. In the news category, Pull Up a Chair Podcast. But you can find us all over the internet. We are on Podbean, iTunes, all the Android apps, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we're there. Just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. On Twitter, we're at Pull Up a Chair Pod. You can tweet at us there, and we'll get back to you and talk to you. We love our fans. Other than that, that's about our website, puckpodcast.website, pucpodcast.website. Other than that, that's all we have.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us for our comeback, the comeback of two champions.
Okay.
Coming back to bring you news you can use, and news that we lay at your feet. Have yourself a great day.
Bye.